I want to ask you about the former president's comments yesterday to the National Association of Black Journalists, where he said that Vice President Harris is, quote, all of a sudden black. As a father of 3 biracial children, did those comments give you pause at all?
They don't give me pause at all.
J.D. Vance, he is not bothered about what his boss said at National Association of Black Journalists. Hello guys, and welcome back to Inside the Daily Gist. We are back again like we never left. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening to me from. I appreciate everybody. Let's jump right into it. J.D. Vance, he is at the border and he was taking questions. And he was asked about Donald Trump racial identity, talk that he talked about yesterday at National Association of Black Journalists when he was asked about Kamala. I'm going to play you the rest of the clip, what J.D. Vance got to say in response to that. Then we are going to chit-chat on the other side. Take a listen, guys.
Look, all he said is that Kamala Harris is a chameleon. She goes to Georgia 2 days ago. She was raised in Canada. She puts on a fake Southern accent. She is everything to everybody, and she pretends to be somebody different depending on which audience she's in front of. I think it's totally reasonable for the president to call that out, and that's all he did. I mean, look, she's running as a tough-on-crime prosecutor, even though she implemented open border policies. She's saying that she wants to support the police, yet she wanted to defund the police just 3 years ago. It's totally reasonable to call out the fact that she pretends to be somebody different depending on the audience she's talking to.
You used that word chameleon yesterday as well. You're someone who was an unabashed critic of the former president previously. Now you're his running mate. You're someone who has text messages out there now that say, I hate the police. Now yesterday you said, I back the blue. By your own standard, are you a chameleon?
Look, I criticized Donald Trump 10 years ago, and we've talked about it, and I've made a good argument to the American people about why I think he was a great president and why I think he deserves re-election. That's different than going to Georgia 2 days ago and putting on a fake Southern accent when you were raised in Canada. So I think it's totally reasonable to change your mind. Has Kamala Harris stood for a tough debate with you and explained why she wanted to ban fracking and now she doesn't, or why she wanted to defund the police and now she doesn't, or why she wanted to open the border but now she doesn't? It's reasonable to change your mind. It's not reasonable to run and hide from the media and not answer the American people's questions.
Rule for thee, and now for me. We got it. We understand it perfectly well, J.D. Vance. You can change your mind because you said what you said about Donald Trump 10 years ago, or whatever years ago you said them. But you can change your mind. But Kamala Harris cannot change her mind. We got it. Are y'all following? Yeah, that was what he said. He tried to come out to defend that Donald Trump used yesterday. And he is trying so hard. Yeah, because what are you asking me? You know what I mean? He is not comfortable answering those questions. But if your boss send you out, you just gotta say yes, you can say no. He was asked again about a statement that Donald Trump made yesterday about him being the VP. Y'all wanna hear how he defended Donald Trump's statement? Take a listen.
He was also asked yesterday if president on day one, he kind of dodged the question. What do you still have to do as his running mate to prove to him that you are ready to step into that role?
Well, I think Donald Trump was answering a political question, and he was answering it correctly. He said for years that who the vice president is doesn't really matter politically. Most Americans are voting either for Kamala Harris or for Donald Trump. They're not voting for the vice presidential nominee of either party. Look, I'm absolutely ready to be president on day one. I've been a businessman. I've been a United States Marine. I've been a senator. I can do the job, but politically, he's just right. People are voting for Donald Trump primarily.
So why are you out here today then if you aren't necessary to this process?
Well, I didn't say I wasn't necessary to the process. I can certainly make an argument that borders are Kamala Harris has failed the American people, but I think ultimately they're going to be voting either for Kamala Harris or for Donald Trump.
Someone need to lecture J.D. Vance that VP is also as important as the president. Both VP and the president, they are on one ticket. If people are not voting because of that president, they will vote because of the vice president. Let's go down in history, shall we? Joe Biden, he got to be president because he chose Kamala Harris for the African Americans, because Joe Biden chose a black first female as vice president. That was why Joe Biden got that win, that victory. So somebody need to tell J.D. Vance that vice president is very important on the ticket. Let's also go down in history. We won't go too deep. When Donald Trump ran for presidency, the last time he ran, if he did not bring on board Mike Pence, the Christians, they would not have voted for Donald Trump. So, Mr. J.D. Vance, VP is very important on the ticket, because if the supporters, they are not really in for the president, they might be in for the VP. Do you understand that? So him coming out saying the VP is not really important, because that was what the boss said, that was what Donald Trump said yesterday. Y'all remember? Now he's coming out trying to wash himself down as well. No, my dear, the VP is as important as the president, because both of them are on the same ticket. Y'all think that's the worst answer he got? No. He was asked about the prisoners swap that President Biden gave a speech on. Y'all want to hear his response? Take a listen.
Do you have a reaction to the news that just came out about the prisoner swap that will bring 2 Americans back home potentially?
Look, I think it's great news, at least what little we know. We certainly want these Americans to come back home. It was ridiculous that they were in prison to begin with, but we have to ask ourselves, why are they coming home? And I think it's because bad guys all over the world recognize Donald Trump's about to be back in office, so they're cleaning house. That's a good thing, and I think it's a testament to Donald Trump's strength.
You've explained at length your past criticism of the former president. I'm just curious, though, is there still an issue where you feel like you are on a different level than him, that you feel like you are hoping to sway him on if you were to become his vice president?
Look, my job as vice president will be to help implement the governing agenda, and if, God forbid, something happens, to step into the gap. But Donald Trump's very healthy. I think he's going to be a great president. He's going to be a great president for 4 years. But my job here is to help prosecute the case, let the American people.
Can somebody help me down there in the comment section? How the prisoner swap from Russia that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris negotiated for, how is it Donald Trump's strength? Y'all heard when he said that? I'm kind of confused with that answer. But yeah, well, let's continue the conversation down there in the comment section. As usual, please let's respect ourselves while we comment. How do y'all think J.D. Vance did on this interview? He is at the border. He is doing what Donald Trump has given him to do to make sure he campaign about the border. That Kamala Harris didn't do a good job, or she is not doing a good job. Yeah, it is election time. Campaign upon campaigns for sure is going to be going on. What do y'all think? Let's continue the conversation there. I'll catch up with you guys later. Thanks to all my return subscribers. I really appreciate. And if you haven't subscribed to join the growing community, please do not forget to do so. And thank you in advance. Bye for now.